everyone, welcome. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury makeup, and today we are going to be trying on a bunch of new products. So please let me know if you would like a dedicated review to anything that I'm featuring today. We have the new Dior Quint in number 429, Toile de Jouy, or I'm not sure how to say it. It's Jouy. So Toile de Jouy. I don't know, but there's this quad. So this one here, what I'm really interested in is, I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm moving it so you can kind of see the reflection, but there's like pink sparkle in here. So I don't know. It looks like it's going to be interesting. So we're going to try this out. I also picked up a new powder from Decorte, and this is actually my first Decorte item. And this is the tone up powder. It's like a finishing powder, but look at this. I mean, this thing is gorgeous. So it has a mirror here, and then even the piece of plastic that it says in the box you should keep is decorated. So you've got like the cherry blossom. So this is a Sakura powder. I think that's what they call it. It's the Decorte Tone Up Powder in 00, made in Japan. And yeah, I can't wait to try this out. And then we're also going to be taking a look at the By Terry palette. This is the Beach Balm palette. So they came out with one like this last year, which I didn't pick up, but these colors really called to me. So we're going to be playing with this one as well, and possibly some other items. I haven't decided what to do with lips. I actually do have quite a few new lipstick shades that I haven't tried out yet. So perhaps we'll go with one of those. Now, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer and see you in a second. All right, so for base products, I have a bunch of samples from By Terry. So I have the concealer in shades 200 natural, 300 medium fair, and 600 dark. I think these are all going to be a little bit too light for me. There is a 100 fair, but we'll try out the natural and just see, how the formula is. I'm going to put that on first. So that way, if it's too dark, there are no issues per se. I can cover it up. So this sample then is the Hyaluronic Hydra Concealer, which is a new product from By Terry. It's correction and skincare benefits in one formula. And according to this little pamphlet, it comes with like a pen with like the brush here that it's a click product. And they have hyaluronic acid, horse chestnut seed extract to lock in moisture and smooth the eye contour. It's buildable coverage. It's supposed to blur dark circles, wrinkles, fine lines, and imperfections. And again, the integrated brush so that you can take it on the go. And yeah, let's see. So it comes normally in 6 shades, and they recommend this as step 3, so after the foundation. But again, we're gonna start with this one now. All right, so this is 200 natural. Let me just put this here. It actually, in the picture, the fair looks pretty yellow and this looks a bit more neutral. So maybe this really won't be so bad. It actually seems like a pretty good shade. So I'm just gonna get a little bit here on my finger. Let's tap it on here. And I'm gonna take the Sonia G mini base brush and we're gonna wipe this on here. So I have a lot of dark circles today, so this will be a true test. We'll see how it does. You can still see them kind of here. Let's see how well we can cover that. So this mini base brush is actually working great for concealer. And yeah, so thank you to those of you who recommended this. It's a great idea. And I've used it a couple times now. I tried it out yesterday, so this is the second time. And yeah, I'm really liking this brush for concealer because it's soft and it buffs it in nicely, but yet I don't get those brush lines. So let me know what you guys think about the concealer. Obviously, the dark circles are not erased, but they are blurred to me. They definitely are more camouflaged. And I'm sure I could build this up even a little bit more. And if I used like a color corrector underneath this, you know, I could do a better job. But I'm happy with having a little bit there and just keeping the coverage a little bit lighter. So this is the concealer after it's kind of dried on my hand. I actually kind of like it. So let me just compare that real quickly to the Chantecaille. This is the, right here, the Chantecaille one in number 1. This is the Camouflage Cielo. So it's a little bit lighter, but you can see that they're both, you know, fairly neutral. I think the By Terry might be slightly rosier there than the Chantecaille, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's not that bad of a match. So let me know what you guys think of this color down below in the comments, and if it'd be worth trying the 100 Fair or this is a good shade. Now I have 2 sample pamphlets for the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Foundation, and I haven't tried this one. I'm not really sure which one to go with. This is actually my most recent one, but it's like all separated. So I don't know if maybe it got too hot in the package. So I'd have to mix that. But this one has 200, 300, 400. Those are all neutrals, and then 600 W. So I'm thinking that these might be a little bit too deep. And then over here, I have 100 C and W, 200 C and 400 N. And my guess is I would actually be 100 N. So let's go ahead and we'll mix a little bit of the 2 100s together and see how that goes. And you can actually see these are separating a little bit also. Now this is like supposed to be, you know, more of a serum style foundation. It comes like with this dropper bottle. It says it's enriched with hyaluronic acid, buildable coverage from sheer to full, long wear, matte, luminous finish. So, and it has SPF 30. So I'm just gonna open these 2 and mix them together a little bit. So I have about half of each of these. Okay, so these are the 2 shades. This is 100W and 100C. So let's just see what that looks like. So this is C and W. Did I have that right? I must have had that backwards. This is 100C. This is 100W. One of the things I liked about the concealer pack is they had each one of these little things like labeled, whereas on the foundation pack, they're not labeled. So if you take it out of your package, you have to look at the actual placement and remember where it went. So yeah, these are the 2 shades together. Yeah, so I'm gonna try mixing these. So this is the shade Mixed, and that's what we're going to use. I don't have any primer or anything on today. I'm going to use the Kyoto F04. Now, this has a strong rose scent. I didn't notice it so much until I started putting it on. It's pretty strong. So, you know, if you don't like that, you're not going to like this foundation. So what do we think? One side versus nothing. All right, so here is the foundation. I could keep adding on. It is, you know, a thin serum-y liquid. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. I like the finish. You know, it dries, it feels matte and smooth, but yet not dry on my skin. And yeah, I think it's nice. It's a very strong scent though. So that's really the only drawback so far. All right, I'm just gonna go wash this off. I'll be right back. All right, so before we move on to anything else, let's go ahead and take a look at this palette. So I'm gonna start with swatching these. And if you guys want a dedicated review on this, just let me know. These are the top 3 shades. And if you have any like, you know, comparison requests, let me know. So you can see that first shade, you can see that shimmer. So it's like peach with pink shimmer in it. And then we have a topper here, which looks like a soft, kind of like a white gold. And then the middle shade here is kind of like a mauvey light brown shade. So that could be cool. And let's check out the bottom shades. Oops, sorry about that. A little close there. but we can see that this one is definitely going to be a warm, kind of like rose, a warm rose with a touch of peach in it. It's a little orangey-ish. And then we have this richer brown, and you can see kind of where that fades out, that it's pretty neutral. You know, it's not really all that cool. There is some coolness to it, but there's also some warmth. So these are the 5 shades in the Quint. So I want to focus more on some of the lighter shades for the most part, but I do want to start off with this middle shade in the crease and then maybe deepen that up a little bit with the deeper shade. So I'm going to start with the Blender Pro from Sonia G into the middle. So next I'm taking the Sonia G Mini Booster into the deepest shade here. So this is number 5. Here you can see it's a little bit more powdery than some of the others. And I'm just going to kind of dab what's left on the outer corner here as well. All right, so across the whole lid, I'm going to go into this first shade. This is the shade I'm most interested in. I'm using the Chikuhodo KZ06 brush, and just going to put this on the whole mobile lid. Okay, so it's a very light, soft shade. Let's build that up a bit more. All right, so this is the shade on the lid. I'm going to go into the topper using the Pencil Pro from Sonia G, and I'm going to add a little bit of this to the inner corner. And it actually, here, let me show you what it looks like on the brush. Doesn't it look like a little bit of like a peachy pink kind of shade? So I thought that was kind of interesting, but it really just looks more like a soft white gold to me when it's actually on my skin. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to take a little touch of this shade here and just kind of very lightly down the lower lash line. So I don't have a lot of pigment. All right, and then I'm going back to the Blender Pro, and I don't have any shadow, but I'm just kind of buffing this area that's like above the crease, kind of up a little bit, just moving what's already there. For the upper lash line, I'm going to go into the deepest shade. This is a Smith 302 brush. I picked this up, I don't know, like a couple months ago, and I didn't use it very much at first. And then now I'm like reaching for this brush all the time. It's just a nice angled brush, but it's not super thin. All right, so that's gonna be it for the eye look. I'm gonna add some mascara, and then I forgot, I actually have the new Dior brow pencil that I wanna try out also. So I added mascara, the Sisley So Stretch in dark brown, just to the upper lashes, just one coat. And then this is the new Dior Show Kabuki Brow Styler, and this is shade 011. It's waterproof. It says creamy brow pencil, fill and define 12 hours wear. And yeah, so let's check this out. It's made in Korea. And let's see, what's the shelf life on this one? There's 0.29 grams or 0.01 ounces, and I don't see the shelf life. So here is the brow styler. I have shade 011, which is gold blonde. And on one side, you have this really cute little brush. Doesn't it reminded me of like an Artiste brush? See that? And it's like, it actually feels like fuzzy. It's kind of cool. And then here is the actual pencil. So let's see what this looks like. So this shade might be too light for me, but we'll see. All right, so I'm just going to start kind of going in, and I'm keeping the point down so it kind of looks like, you know, the point where the hair came from, the follicle. And yeah. So let's just test that with the brush. Okay, the brush, it just feels cool. So I like the brush. All right, so what do you guys think? Let me know. I'm gonna do the other brow. All right, so there are the brows with this. I have to say that the brush is really awesome. So this is like creamier instead of waxy, but I wouldn't say like it's a soft cream. It feels, it feels almost like a drying out eye pencil. So if you have like a creamy eye pencil and it's starting to dry out, it has more of that texture. So it's like a firmer, creamy pencil. And this just twists up and down. Okay, so you can see I didn't go through it too fast or anything like that. And this brush is just really, really awesome. I like the way it feels. And I think it really kind of blurred everything in nicely. So if you're looking for not necessarily little lines, but kind of like filling in an entire brow area, I think this pencil is going to be a good choice. All right, so before we actually move on to Beach Balm, I want to test out this powder here. So just going to kind of swatch these three shades here and see if we can even see a difference. Oh, let's put it down here. So top, middle, bottom of the palette. And then let me show you one running through all three of them together. So you can see it's got, you know, a white look to it. We do have this shade here that is a little bit warmer in tone. So this one, it's hard to see, but it's like a light cool tone pink, almost a touch of lavender in there. And then this one's a yellow and this is a peach. And you can see that this is like 2 times the width essentially of this shade here. And this is going to be the smallest shade. So I think it's only fitting to use the Maki 2 brush with this since they match. So let's go ahead. I'm just swirling all of the shades together. And let's start with the one side. Let's see how that looks. So it's called a tone-up powder. It doesn't really have that much information. It just says apply over makeup with a powder brush or puff for a finishing touch or for touch-ups throughout the day. And replace the transparency sheet after each use to keep the powder surface clean. So this powder here is actually made in Japan and it's limited edition. And you can pick it up from the Decorte website. I ordered it from Saks, but I got like one of the last ones. So I haven't seen it pop back up on the site, but it's very, very pretty. So here is the powder. I think this will be a good base for the By Terry palette. Okay, so I'm going to take this Stilazzi Finishing Buki brush and we're going to start off kind of in this brownish shade here. And I'm going to add just a touch of this back here. I have actually played with this palette a lot and I tried using this for contour, but you can see the warmth in here. It's too much. It's really more like for a bronzy look, but you know, I think I like it kind of back here. It does look like I got some here, but when I actually look down in the mirror, I don't see anything there. It's almost like it highlighted something natural in my face, if that makes sense. So here's this brown shade. And as I mentioned, I have used this palette a few times already. I played with this shade on my eyes and I really like this one on my eyes. For the blush shades, I like both of them. I like them mixed, but today we're just gonna go into this peachy shade and I wiped this brush off, but I'm going to use this same brush. We're just gonna put that a little bit more in the front here. Okay, so I'm wiping the brush off, just kind of blending that a little. So like all by Terry products, this does have the rose scent to it. It's not as strongly scented as the foundation, but it's still what I would consider a strong rose scent. So you can see that these have like a sheen to them. It's definitely more emphasized on this side. I went a little darker here. So I'm going to take the Sonia G Smooth Buffer and just kind of buff these two together a little bit. Kind of soften that. So I actually want to tone this down a touch. So I am going to go in with this powder from Decorte again, and I'm going to just get the Sonia G Smooth Buffer with this. I'm just getting a little bit of product here. Just gonna buff that. More so focusing on this area where I have a little bit more shadow. And this first shade here, I'm taking the Fan Pro from Sonia G, and I'm just going to go ahead and place this kind of right on top and kind of like right on the apples. So I feel like I just need a little contour with this shade here. So I'm going to dip into my Surratt palette, and I am going to use this shade here that I got my fingernail in. This is going to be Grisaille. So I'm just going to use this for just a little bit right underneath here. So I'm going to take the GSN 05 for this. Just going to get a little bit on the brush here. I don't know if that helped. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this off with a little bit more of the Decorte powder. Since it's technically a finishing powder, I'm putting this all over. So the other day when I did the live with Just Glow Firefly, we were, testing out what she did for her new video with the 1950s look, and they kind of overloaded their skin with powder. So I really liked that look. So, I'm like kind of using a little bit more powder and just seeing how it looks. And I think, it really kind of depends which powder you use. So I think it's kind of a good test though to see how the powder holds up this way. So this is everything. I feel like I took off a little bit of that beach balm kind of vibe. So I'm just going to take the fan brush and dip that in the peach and just do a light wash there. All right, so I don't know about you guys, but I can still see all of the shades that I have from the By Terry. I just wanted to add just a slight more touch of that peachy shade, but I am happy with the colors. I'm gonna go ahead and use another shade of the Guerlain. These are the Kiss Kiss Shine Bloom lipsticks. This shade is 129 Blossom Kiss. Let me just build it up here for you so you can see that. And let's go ahead and use this. My lips are a little dry at the moment. So here's the shade. And I'm just taking Dior lip liner in 100 Nude Look, and I'm just gonna go around the edges real quickly. So you can see that I wasn't super precise with the pencil, and I had no problem going on top of any of the lipstick because I feel like that gives a little bit of a softer effect while still offering some definition. So that's what I have been liking there. Now this shade in particular, I have to say I really like this one. This is the final look from a distance. And I have to say, I'm very happy with the way everything turned out. This by Terry palette, again, as I've mentioned, I've used this several times now. These colors you can really build up. Oh, I just realized I forgot to swatch these, so let me swatch these for you real quickly. I really like all of them, but in particular, I love the blush shades. So here are all 4 of them. This one looks great on the eyes. I like these 2 paired together on the eyes. This is light enough that you can use it as sort of like a highlighter, but it's really more of like a highlighting blush because it has quite a bit of pigment to it. And these 2 in particular, I really love using for blush, and these 2 mixed together is gorgeous. Let me show you that. So this is those 2 shades mixed together. I just love that combination. So I really like this palette. And again, if you want a dedicated review on anything, let me know. But, you know, I say that if this is something that you are looking for, it's a great like kind of palette that you can take with you for, like, for me, it's not a complete look, which is what I was kind of thinking, just because, you know, this is a little bit warmer in tone than I thought it was just by looking at the pan. You can see that it's got a little bit more warmth to it. The blushes are gorgeous. You know, I love all 4 of the shades in here. I'm very happy I picked this up. It does have a strong rose scent, but that didn't surprise me because that's pretty standard in By Terry products. So I think this is a great palette. This is made in Italy. There are, each of the shades is 2.3 grams or 0.08 ounces, and it has a 3-year shelf life. So I think it is a great palette, definitely great for traveling and everything too, if you have the opportunity to do that this summer. The Decorte powder is gorgeous. So Japanese powders in general are very, very finely milled, and they leave a pretty flawless finish on your skin. So far, I'm enjoying this one. I need to play with it more with other products and see how it holds up and performs, because, you know, I don't think it worked the best with this By Terry foundation, but I don't know whether it's the foundation or the powder, but you can kind of see, you know, it's not bad. You know, it's just not as flawless as I was expecting. So I will play with it more, but it's gorgeous, and I definitely think it's a nice powder. So I really like that. The By Terry foundation and concealer, you know, I think the finish on the foundation is really nice. I don't know if I can get past the scent though. Like, I don't mind the rose scent, but there's just too much of it. It's very strong. So I think it's just a little bit too strong for me, especially if I were to wear it during the summertime. Perhaps during the winter when the scents don't disperse into the air quite as much, then maybe then, you know, it wouldn't bother me so much. But I think it might just be a little bit too strongly scented. However, I did really like this concealer. I'd love to know what you guys think of this match versus maybe the 100 Fair, which looks more yellow. So I don't know, this might be a better shade match anyway. But I like the texture of that a lot, and I think it performed nicely. So it's something I would consider picking up. Obviously, it's not on my list, so I'd have to wait till July. But yeah, that's it for that. The Kabuki Brow Styler from Dior, I really like that. I think it is really cool. So it's not going to necessarily replace all of my other brow products. It's not something that I would necessarily only use forever, because again, if you're in a situation where you want like thin, tiny strokes, this is not going to give this to you. This is going to give you like broad color, fill in, that type of thing. But I think it looks pretty natural, and the brush is really cool. So I would definitely use this and pick this up again. And the Quint. So here's the Quint up here. And this is part of the regular permanent line. It's $62. And let's see here, it's 7 grams, and it's made in France. So these, as all Dior shadows, have a 6-month shelf life. In reality, they last a lot longer than that, but I think it is a nice palette. You know, I like it. It's not my favorite. It's a little bit warmer in tone than what I usually go for, but I have to say I was really intrigued by a few of these shades, and I can't wait to play with them more. So that's, I think, everything except the lip. And I have reviewed these lipsticks a lot. I love them. I love the formula, and I'm very happy with this new shade that I picked up. So if you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave them down below. If there's anything that you would like a dedicated video on or more information, please just let me know. I'd be happy to accommodate. And that's everything for today. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great day and stay safe and healthy.